this is here and welcome to another video. Today we're doing another video inside of Hermitcraft, Redstone Infestation, Clockwork Chronicles fanfiction based on hermits. And if you know how these work, you know how these work. This is a continuation of two previous stories I've already shown. And yeah, this was a storyline that I wanted to get back to and fully flesh out a little bit more. So yeah, hope you enjoy it. This is part 2. I don't know how long this is going to be, but yeah, we'll see what happens. Chapter 4. It was the next morning as Grian began to gather some supplies to meet up with Impulse and Tango in the meeting hall once again, grabbing any redstone, iron, quartz, or other materials he might need that he had. Grian looked through the pile of chests and shulker boxes in his storage room till he probably exhausted every one of them. Once he was satisfied, he went to pick up the shulker box he'd been using to put all the items in, when he heard the sound of footsteps up the stairs, down the hall. As he paused, he wasn't sure who would be coming up the stairs at the time, seeing as the backup crew had all woken up before dawn to scout around. The kitchen was downstairs, and there wasn't a need for anyone to come up to the second floor. Suppose one of them forgot something, like their communicator or weapon, but an uneasy feeling filled him as he put a hand on top of the bucket where his device rested inside. "Grian, do you have a moment?" a voice called out from the hallway before the speaker appeared at the door, and the hermit turned to face the man. "Yeah, sure, I'm just about done here," breathed simply. He quickly picked up the box and put it away. "What's going on?" "There's something I need to check with you on outside," the man stated quickly. "One of the guys spotted something and wanted to know if it was anything we should keep an eye on." "Wouldn't Caden be better?" Grian asked curiously, seeing as he is the one in charge of this whole little team. "I wasn't able to find him," the man shrugged. "He must have wandered off somewhere." "Oh," Grian said slowly with a frown as he nodded. "So far, I hope." "No, not at all," the backup crew member laughed as he gestured for the hermit to follow him. "It'll only take a few minutes at the max. You'll be fine." "Okay," Grian replied wearily as he walked out of the room, glancing toward the window as he noticed there weren't many crew members outside on that side. Maybe they were on the other? He only had 6 of them charged to watch over his base, so it was very likely they'd all spread out into the shade of the trees. He wouldn't have blamed them. He reluctantly went with the man out into the hallway and down the stairs, noticing the base was awfully quiet, feeling more eerie and ominous than calming. He shook the unease off as he took a deep breath. He had to start trusting that these guys wouldn't stab him in the back every 5 minutes. They'd been hired to help him, protect him, and why wouldn't they? It was part of their job, what they were trained to do. Yet he knew time and time again, many times, that he had been betrayed by the very people who had been assigned to help him. He followed the man out the front door and down toward the tree line, the hermit glancing back over his shoulder, warily, half hoping he'd see Caden rounding a corner. The young man was nowhere to be seen, however, as he looked back just as he spotted a shadow move behind one of the trees. Did you say that?" Grian asked, stopping in his tracks. It took the man a moment before he realized the hermit had stopped walking. "It's probably one of those zombies or skeletons. Nothing to worry about," the man queried as he waved his hand briskly to the trees. "If it was, they'd be coming out to come after us by now," Grian pointed out nervously. "Relax, you're in good company," the man insisted as he took a step toward the hermit, standing merely 5 feet from him. "You know I won't let anything happen to you." "I don't, actually," Grian pointed out as he took a step back, seeing something else move in the shadows. "I'm going back to the base. You can wait for Caden when he gets back." "But it can't wait, Grian," the man pressed as he walked over to the hermit and put a hand on the hermit's shoulder. "It'll be fine. Trust me." "I don't," the hermit stated blandly as he brushed the man's hand off his shoulder. "I'm going back to the base." No, you won't be, a voice said from behind one of the trees, and the hermit watched as about 3 men in Mr. A's classic uniforms stepped out into the morning sunlight. The speaker was a tall, lanky man. His dark eyes looked both gloomy and tired, as if he wanted to be anywhere else but doing what he was doing. What are you doing here? I thought. Grian started before spotting one of the men taking something out of his pocket as he tread off. You know coming here is a bad idea, right? Said who? The second man said as Grian looked behind him. Noticing a backup crew member was now nowhere to be seen. We staged a little detour, thanks to our friend who stays here. He told us we were more than welcome to come and take you. I need to go. Grian said quickly as he took a nervous step back, putting a hand in one of his pockets as he touched the communicator, just as a pearl flew into the air. As the hermit booked it into the tree. Don't let him get away! One of the men shouted, as the hermit weaved through the trees, taking out his device so he could figure out what he needed to do. He glanced over his shoulder as he heard the sound of running feet behind him, seeing that he was under hot pursuit with 3 men, as he swallowed, finally pressing a button just as a pearl flew toward him once more. Stay away from me! Green insisted as he dove behind a tree, just as he heard the man on the other side stumble to his feet with a low groan. You know those things can really hurt if you're not careful. Maybe we don't need to be, a voice said from behind him, as something grabbed him by the arm, as the hermit yelped in surprise, looking back to see that one of the men had snuck behind him. Let me go! Green called loudly, hoping anyone in the area might hear it as he yanked himself out of the man's grip. He charged deeper into the trees, shouting out for help. You can't possibly outrun us forever, hermit, the third man bellowed out loud. That wasn't my plan! Green said quickly, stumbling a little as he caught himself with one of the trees before using the force to push himself forward. Do you think someone will come to rescue you? The first man taunted. Like your protector? Oh. That is their job. Green shouted back. The pearl smashed behind him as he yelped in surprise, tripping over a tree root as he fell to the ground. Pain shot through his ankle as he fought back some tears, noticing the ankle was already starting to look swollen. Scooting backwards as a shadow loomed over him. That was true, then where are they? The man said casually. He offered him a hand. Think you can willingly walk back with us? Mister, it might be nicer to you if you cooperate. Never. Green choked out as he narrowed his eyes up at the man, as the other 2 surrounded him, blocking any escape. I don't think you have much of a choice, one of the other men sneered. The hermit was grabbed by an arm as he was pulled to his feet. The hermit gasped his left ankle regained some pressure as he tried to push the man away. Suddenly the hermit noticed something fly overhead, just as it hit its mark. The man holding him grunted, letting him go. The hermit fell to the earth. He tried to crawl away, just as someone appeared out of the shadows. No, not one, but rather 2. Caden! Devin! Grin exclaimed, not realizing just how relieved he was to see 2 familiar people, as he managed to pull over to a nearby tree. Are you okay, Gran? Caden asked, glancing up and down, just as the 2 other men charged toward their escorts. Devin charged forward with his sword as he blocked both of the men's attempts, ordering Caden to take the hermit to safety. The young man ran over to the hermit and he knelt next to him. Yeah, I think so, Green said, his best not to cry out in pain as he readjusted his position. I think I sprained my ankle while running. Can you walk? The young man asked with concern. Green tried as he noticed something out of his peripheral vision. Behind you! Caden whirled around as he got to his feet, sending the surprised man that had attempted to maneuver around Devin flying backwards, hitting a nearby tree with a groan before collapsing to the earth. The man turned to Hermit. Come on, we should get you out of here so we can tend to that. Green nodded as the man lifted him off the ground. As the hermit looked back to see Devin finishing off the 3rd man, suddenly an uneasy feeling filled him. The man began walking further into the trees. Where are we going? I thought Scar might be able to help. Caden replied simply. The hermit noticed something in the clearing. Okay, Green said quietly, finally able to relax, as he saw sure enough that they were approaching Scar's base. He hadn't realized how close he'd been to getting here. The door to the base swung open as Scar rushed out of the building, his eyes wide with surprise. Grian, are you okay? The hermit asked quickly. He will be, with a little bit of help, the young escort reassured him. Mind grabbing one of those medical kits for me? On it, Scar nodded, as he went back into the house as the man followed him inside, before putting the Grian down on the couch, gently examining both ankles until he found the right one, propping it up for support. Thank you. Thanks, Grian replied with a smile as the man nodded. Where were you, though? One of the guys told me you wandered off somewhere. I was in a small report meeting with Devin not too far from here, the man said simply. We found a cave between the two bases and thought we could meet up there. Thought the backup crew would have everything under control. But apparently not. Yeah, Grian agreed nervously. Made it seem like you walked off on us. I came right over when I knew you were in trouble, didn't I? The man mused. Grian nodded, not saying anything, smiling as he added, I'll be in the other room for a bit if you need me. Think Scar can handle the rest. Yep, the other hermit replied matter-of-factly as he entered the main room from the stairwell, carrying one of the boxes that Gem and Pearl had prepared a while ago. Devin's still not back? He should be back in a bit while he handles the situation over at Green's place, Gaten replied matter-of-factly, stealing a glance over at the hermit, who nodded. Shouldn't take long. I hope not, Green sighed, as Scar put down the box, took out a bottle of healing potion and towel. I agree, the escort agreed. What? Said softly, as he nodded over at both of them before walking out of the room. You want it on your ankle, I'm guessing? Scar offered, as he poured the healing potion over the towel. That would be great. Green smiled, as the hermit did just that. The pain immediately dissipated, as he let out a relieved sigh. Thanks, Scar. Anytime. Scar chuckled. The hermit heard a small meow as he looked down to see Jelly crawl out from under an armchair or jumping on top, watching the two of them intently. How's she doing? Green asked quickly, looking from the cat to his friend. She's mostly recovered after what happened. She stopped limping recently, Scar said with a casual shrug. If anything, the sound of the explosion affected her more than that minor injury. She's fine. That's good, Green replied softly. He pulled off the towel to see the ankle was no longer swelling up. Swelling had almost disappeared completely. I think I'm good now. The sprain healed. Just give it a little bit to rest first, at least, Scar suggested, as he went over to the chest. You hungry? I might have something for you. No, I'm good, Green replied, before putting a hand to his pocket as he stopped. I think I lost my communicator when I was running from those guys. Maybe Devin was able to find it, Scar said simply, as he closed the chest again and walked over to the window, pulling over the blinds quickly. Impulse and Tango are probably wondering where I am, though, Green insisted. He looked out the window, just as he saw something beyond the trees, sighing in relief when he recognized it was Devin. It should be Devin. You were supposed to meet with them for something? Scar asked with a frown. Yeah, we were going to do some additions to the meeting hall, Green pointed out, as the front door opened and Devin walked into the room. I've already let them know about the situation, Devin assured him, most likely catching the tail end of the conversation, as he walked over to the hermit, offering something in his hand. Sure enough, it was his communicator. A little battered and dirty, but still functional, as the hermit took it from him gratefully. He pocketed it away safely into his pocket. Okay. As the escort cleared his throat again, adding, once you're up for it, we can go over. You sure? Green asked warily. Do you know why those men went after me? I don't, Devin replied with a frown. Should be safe to go there, though. Yeah. Just give me a few minutes, and then we can go, Green said calmly, as he swung his legs over the couch, putting his feet on the floor. Happy to find that he would in no more pain. Comes in handy when you're YouTubing, doesn't it? Devin mused, just smiled, as he went toward the kitchen. Yeah, Green nodded, as he looked over his car. It's only a sprain. At least it wasn't worse. Agreed, Devin nodded. The man disappeared into the kitchen. This is certainly fun, Scar admitted with a small smile. Yeah, a lot more fun than being chased by 3 of Mr. A's men after being betrayed by another backup crew member, he sighed. I'm not sure this backup plan would be helping us any, even with the additional protection. We'll figure this out, Scar said confidently as Green got to his feet. I feel like something needs to be done, Scar, Green admitted, ideally before someone gets seriously hurt. What exactly then? Scar asked curiously. He over to the hermit as he put a hand on his shoulder. Mr. A clearly wants something, Green said slowly. What exactly is it and why? He sighed. Can't just stand around and wait for something to happen. We need to do something. Maybe we can sort that out with Impulse and Tango, Scar offered. They're smart. I'm sure they can come up with some crazy technology to combat their attacks. Graham nodded as he looked toward the window, his mind wandering as he stared up at the sky, wondering if he'd be able to see anything. Any sign of that Mr. A's men were at large. All he had to go on was that Mr. A wanted him alive. The men easily could have killed him if they had the chance. He wasn't sure next time he'd be so lucky. Yeah, I think I'm going to end it here. Is that okay? Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I do hope you enjoyed this video. Yeah, I will see you guys in the next one, whenever that might be. Goodbye.